Hi coloring friends, and welcome back to my channel, and thank you for joining me today. Today I have episode 4 of Coloring Outside the Book. Now that is the series I have on my channel where I show different ideas on how to get our coloring pages out of our coloring books and enjoy them in our everyday lives or for special occasions. So today what I'm going to be making is a candle holder. So what I have here that we're going to be using is I have some frames that I bought from Dollar Tree. So just inexpensive frames. The size I have is 4 by 6, but you can adjust this by sizing your coloring page that you're printing out to whatever size would work in your frame. I'm also going to be using a glue gun to build the candle holder. And then I have a craft knife here because I'm going to use that to cut out some of the embellishments on my coloring page. So in addition to these things, you'll also need to pick a picture that you'd like to have glowing and lit up from behind in your candle. All right, so I'm going to clear all of this out of the way and we will get started with our building. Okay, so I thought I'd just talk a little bit about the kinds of pictures that would possibly work well, lighting up from behind and making a sort of glowing feature. So I have Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle here, and some of her pages would work well, I think. So something like this. If you just colored the design and then left the background empty, then you would get that glowing effect coming from behind in the white areas that you left. So that could look very pretty. And different floral arrangements like this. I think it would work best not to do a colored background though, to leave the area white so that you get that glow coming through from behind. And you'll get a better idea once I have mine all put together and I can show you. So something like this would be pretty. You could just color the design, leave the background empty, and then you would get that glow coming through from behind your colored picture. Another one, and this is the one that I've chosen a picture from, is Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. And there's quite a few in here that would look really pretty. So you could do something like this, and then the bottle would look kind of glowing from behind. Or anything with a house in it would look gorgeous because you could leave the windows blank and then you would see that glow like the house is lit up from within coming through your picture. This mushroom house would be adorable like that. And this is the picture that I chose. So kind of a simple design. And actually my plan is to cut out some of the area so you get even more of a dramatic glow from behind. And I can show you, I'm just going to try to demonstrate here that glow. So I have a little light here. I'm going to put that behind and you can kind of see how it's going to glow through. And it's going to glow more in the areas that you have the white space. Now these are double-sided in her book, so what I'm going to have to do is print this onto my own paper. I'm just going to use white cardstock, and I am going to have to size this down a little bit because it will not fit in my 4 by 6 frame. But there are a lot of great options in her book that I think would be gorgeous. If you had a fairy book, that could look really pretty, or a unicorn sort of lit up and glowing from behind. It's really the sky's the limit again. You can choose whatever you like. Just as an example, though, I wanted to show, so something from even a book like this would work, and you could do a mandala and color it, and here's another house one that you could do which would look lit up from behind. However, if you're using a book like this with the black on the background, you are definitely going to want to copy it onto your own white paper first, because if you look here, you really lose a lot of the glow because of that black. I mean, it would have to be basically pressed right up behind to be able to see any of the candle that you have in your arrangement. So that is one tip, is that you want to make sure if you're using a page that has a black background to copy that onto white paper first so that you get that glow, because otherwise the black is going to cancel it out. So that's just a little bit about choosing your picture for your frames here. And I'm going to go ahead and get mine sized and ready to color. All right, so I have my picture here, and it is the correct size to fit into my frame here. So I've sized it correctly with my printer. It took a little bit of scanning and resizing to find the correct size. Now, a trick I used is I took the backing out of the photo frame and I lined it up over my picture to figure out whether or not that was going to work. And then once I had it the correct size, then I just laid this onto my whole paper and traced around the edges of it and then cut that out. So that is how I ended up with my photo-sized picture here. And what I'm going to do for the other 4 walls of the box frame is take the plain white paper and then do the same thing 3 more times with just blank white. If you wanted to, you could do a picture on each side of your boxed frame, and you could even, kind of rotate it occasionally to what picture you like on the front. But for this one, I'm just going to do the one picture on the front, and then the other 3 sides will just be the white paper with the light glowing through it. All right, one last interjection before I actually get to the coloring part of this. I wanted to just show a little bit of the planning that I do. I do like to go into my pages with a little bit of a plan. It's not set in stone. It's not like I won't mix things around, or if I'm finding I'm lacking a certain tone or shade, that I won't grab something else. But I find that I do a little better if I kind of have a plan going into it on where I want to go with things. So I wrote out here, in case anyone's interested, I am going to be trying out my new Monarch Black Widow pencils that I got for Christmas. I haven't used them at all yet, so I'm excited to try them out here. And I just have colors that I picked out and swatched for the shell background area in the center. And the legs and feelers, I like these colors. And then for the shell of the beetle, I like these colors here. Now I think for a little bit of accent and some pops of color, I'm going to use my Gansai Tambi Opal watercolor paints. Now, quick little newbie tip. If you're putting your watercolors away, just make sure they are fully dry before you do that. I clearly did not, and it was completely stuck to the inside of the box. So I'm going to have to get a tin or a plastic case for those to put away from now on. And now I know I'm going to make sure they are fully dry before I do that. And then for some extra little highlights and accents, I'm going to use my Deco Color Liquid Gold, which is a favorite of mine. If you have been watching my channel for any period of time now, you will see I use that quite often. I do enjoy using it. So this is the general plan. We'll see what I end up with. Everything for me is really trial and error because I'm still pretty new at this hobby and, just figuring out what works. But here's the plan to start. All right, now it's time to get to coloring. So I think I'm going to start with the shell here. I'm just going to start with my darkest green and work my way inward to the lightest. Try to give him a little bit of a shine on his back. I'm going to use the lines here where it dots a little bit as my gauge for where I want to put that shiny part. That's my plan. A little intimidated by Hannah Carlson pictures. So again, I know I mentioned it quickly earlier, but this is from Hannah Carlson's Tales of the Forest Kingdom. It's a pretty new book for me. I'm going to pause for just a second while my dog barks. All right, so sorry about that. I am trying to film on yet another snow day. And snow days in my neighborhood means there are kids out playing, neighbor kids, and my own. And that means that my dogs will bark. So, my apologies. I will try to do my best to stop whenever they start up, and hopefully it won't be too disruptive. But unfortunately, this is one of the few days I have this week that will work at all for filming, and if I wait till later in the day, it's just too dark and the lighting is harder to get right, so I'm trying to get it in now. My kids are home as well, so you may hear a little bit of them in the background too, and I do apologize. Sometimes I just gotta work with what I have here, so that's how it goes. So, in all honesty, I don't know why, but Hannah Carlson pages always intimidate me a little bit. And then on top of that, I am trying to use my Monarch pencils for the first time. So I have colored with Black Widow before, so they shouldn't be too different, I wouldn't think, but yeah, so I just feel a little intimidated today. Kind of had to give myself a little bit of a pep talk to just dive in and get going with it and get over yourself. Because this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a fun hobby, a relaxing time, and I will obviously put my best into it and it will turn out the best I can do. So I need to accept what that is and just dive in and do it. So that's the plan here. Now I think the way I'll tackle this is I will just try to do some of each element, so you can get an idea for how I'm doing it. And then I will probably speed up while I finish or while I continue working on it, just because, just in the interest of time. I know it's a smaller picture. I've reduced the size, but I am still not the fastest in my coloring, and I don't want this to be 8 years long. So, yep, sorry, my daughter is on a chat with a friend right now, and apparently something exciting just happened. If you hear her yelling through the wall. Yeah, my wall to my office here bumps up to her bedroom, so she's having a good old time in there, and I am think I'm going to pause it for just a second and ask if she can tone it down just a little bit, because we are quite loud there, so bear with me just for a moment. All right, and I'm back again. My apologies. Like I said, it's a snow day, so just kind of make and do, because everyone is home and active right now. So I do like these colors together here. I like how that's turning out. So far so good. All right. Let's make sure I have a smooth blend into the next color here. All right, I'm going to go with my washed green next and hope that it does what I'm wanting it to here. Just gonna go with that. That is very light, a very light green. But I think it'll do. I'm not being super careful with the little tiny dots there because that's going to be, I'm going to go over that with my gold, my liquid gold, so it's okay if they get covered up a little bit because the liquid gold will go right over that. So, alright. Trying to get it to where the high point is going to be. Alright. Not too bad. Kind of try and leave a high point there. It's going to be the very lightest color I have here. Now, I had selected oyster, but my oyster is a very peachy. I have my list here of colors. My oyster is a very peachy, and I'm just not sure if that's going to be too peachy, or if I could take it back. And this antler here is a creamier color, but it's got more of a green to it. I'm not sure. Oh, it's so hard to know what to do. This is the tricky part for me. I think I'm going to go with antler just because I have antler in the mix here as well. And I don't want to deviate too far out of my color palette here. So we're going to give antler a go. See how that turns out. Where is my antler? Okay, there's antler here. So let's go with that one and hope for the best. I apologize if you can still hear my daughter. Apparently she either didn't get the message about quieting down a little bit, or it's just that the walls are paper thin and she's right on the other side of it. So, I don't know. I almost feel like I could have gone with the yellower, more peachy, orangey, yellowy shade. But I think, I don't know, maybe this will be okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's kind of what I was going for. I will take it. I think I am gonna just kind of darken up this edge here a little bit though. There we go. All right. And I may actually come back and kind of blend those colors so it's not quite so harsh. All right, that's the oyster. Let me just move that out of here because we're not using him. And then we've got our Embler. All right, so there is one side of the beetle, and what do I want to start with next? I think I want to take, I think this is what's intimidating about the Hannah Carlson pages to me, is there's so many little details, and it's, you kind of got to sit and think how you want to deal with them. How do I want this to look? So I think this is going to be the same color as the darkest part of the shell. Almost like it's maybe peeking through, and this is a little accessory the beetle has on. I don't know. All right, yep, I like that too. I think I'm going to work on, now even though the head also I'm going to do opal colors, I think this area here, since it's kind of underneath, I'm going to just make shadowed with the gray that I got out. And then I haven't decided how I want to handle the eyes either. I think I'm going to go ahead and make them gray as well. And then I don't know, for the actual, I guess, pupil of the eye, the front part there, I don't know if I want to leave it white and let the light shine through, the candle shine through that, or if I want to make that a gold. I haven't decided that yet either. So got a lot to figure out here. Let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on this middle area here. And I'm just going to try to hit a around the parts that I want to be glowy with my lightest gray. It is a very, very light gray. I mean, when they say light gray, that's what the color is called. They are not joking. That is a light gray. I find it easier with the things that I want to make look glowing to go with my lightest shade first around them and then kind of back out from there. That's how I tend to approach those. Okay, so got my lightest gray, and then this center area we're gonna make sort of lighter. We'll just kind of bump up to the lightest gray and work around it. And then we'll come in with our darkest gray and kind of work our way out to that edge line where his shell meets. Or wing, I guess. I guess those are probably his wings. But I thought this would be a fun one to do for January. I know a lot of us are going through the dark, cold days of the year in January, and this is just a little way to have a, cozy, warm light added to your decor. And now when I put a candle in, I will be using an LED candle, a flameless, because since it's paper, I don't want to put an actual flame behind it. So yeah, the plan is definitely a flameless candle to put in here. I would advise everyone to do the same, because the goal is not to burn your house down. All right, now I'm just going to come on the edges and kind of try to work my way in. Kind of bridge that intensity of shades. Now I'm also not being as careful with the stars here, or the bubbles really. The bubbles I will be covering with the Opal Colors watercolor paints that I have here. And these stars are what I plan on cutting out of the picture completely with my craft knife. So that is yet another hobby that I enjoy, is paper cutting. So I'm throwing a little bit of paper cutting into this one too. And when we cut away the stars, it will give a place for the light to shine through behind it. So that's the idea there. I'm trying to make it a little lighter with the shading around the stars, because I'd like, the paper to take on a glowy effect too. And I'm afraid if I just color straight with the darkest gray, that it will block the light too much, and it will just be an intense burst of light coming out of the star and then just stop. And I don't really want that look. So trying to adjust my shading accordingly there. So the bubbles will be like an opal gold that I have here. And then I think the body, or I'm sorry, the head at the top there, that will be my opal green that I'm going to use over it. So that's the plan at least. All right. Make sure I have a smooth blend going here. Got a little too heavy-handed there at the bottom. Let me try to blend that out a little bit. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's kind of nice when you're cutting out some of the details. It makes it a little easier to color when you don't have to worry about working around all those pesky little things. Not too bad. All right. I think I'm going to come back through and just try to smooth out that difference in colors there. There we go. Oh my. Oh, I just heard an oops. Not sure what that was. Oh, we'll see. Sometimes I'm amazed that my house is still standing. All right, I think let me go back through with my lightest gray and just smooth that all out. I do not know what my daughter is doing in there. I know she's doing some redecorating today. She moved her bed. This is my 9-year-old. She moved her bed by herself earlier. And I would imagine she's probably moving her dresser right now, and that's what we're hearing. All that banging. So, we will see. Little interior designer there. All right, I think I'm going to leave that like that for now. I may come back once I've cut out the stars and, you know, refine the shading a little bit. But for now, I think that'll do. I know it looks a little sloppy and messy right now. It should look better once I have the actual stars cut out there. So that's going to change it a little bit. Now I think I am going to paint this area and the head with the opal colors, but I think I may do a little base with the lightest green I have here, the washed green, just to give some substance behind the opal colors, because they are very, very, very light. And I want to make sure that you can tell he's green. So we're just going to come in and do a quick base with this. There we go. All right. I think that's probably part of it, and then here, trying to see what's swirl and what is bug. Thinking this is bug too. All right, so we will come back in with our opal colors and give him some shine there. But that'll make a nice base at least. All right, and let's see, I'm trying to follow here. I think this is probably bug as well. Sometimes it's like a puzzle coloring. You got to figure out what matches with what and what you're looking at to figure out what you need to color. Maybe got a little bit on a swirl there. I think that is a swirl. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing up here with his head. Just to give it a little bit of depth of color for when I put the paint on. And then I think this little area in here is going to be as well. Now this is another little star that I will be cutting out, so I'm not too concerned with whether I go over it or not, because it will be gone. All right, there we go. That's that side of the head. Let's get this side real quick. So then I'm envisioning the legs and antenna or feelers, whatever they're called on the bug. I'm envisioning them as like a greenish gold. I guess like a gold that's had some exposure to the elements, maybe. So there we go. All right, now his head will have some substance of color behind that opaly shine. Okay, I think since I already did this area very dark, I might just continue and darken in this and then let the head be shiny. I think that's gonna be the plan, I think. So just come in here and kind of darken up these inner areas. Move this here. And that's going to be pretty dark there because that's right in the middle. Okay. to make sure I'm not getting too heavy-handed because I don't want this area to be a solid dark green, really. I like that lighter green. So just do that. All right. Let me see. I think I need a little bit of a bridge. So I'm going to grab that apple and just try to combine those two a little bit more. I guess worst comes to worst. If I don't like it, I can always just go right over it with the opal color still. So all is not lost. All right, I'm going to go back through with that antler color. Kind of blend it all together here. There we go. All right. I think before I make a final decision, I'm going to need to see how it looks once I have the rest of it, the other elements around it completed. It's just too hard to say. So once I have this area here filled in, I think I'll know better what I do or don't like about what I've done. So I'm going to get this area up here darkened a bit. Okay. Just hit it with a quick blend there. And kind of get those two colors. All right, that is not too bad. I like how it's looking so far. And now we are ready to move on to the, I think I'm going to move on to the legs next. So we'll start working on those. And I think I'm going to start with my darkest color here. That's just going to be right in the deepest points of these. So this kind of swirly stuff here, I guess, is it called filigree? I'm not sure, I might have just made up a word there, but I find it so intimidating to color. Scroll work, maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm always kind of like, what do I do with this? I don't know what to do with this. And like Johanna Basford's books have a lot of it, and I mean, a lot of books do, but especially the Hannah Carlson and Johanna Basford ones come to mind quite a bit. Yeah, so I don't know. This is not a tutorial for sure. Please know this is just trial and error. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with this stuff. So yeah, I have an idea of how I'd like it to look. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I switched to my darker goldish color. This is light bronze. And I guess kind of my mid-tone of the group. I gotta watch myself because I really want to run away with it sometimes and get too heavy-handed. I'm trying not to let that happen. Alright, let's see, where else? Yeah, see in here, I think I got a little too carried away. But that's okay. Okay, so then next I'm going to come in with my green tea. And that is a very goldy green. That's this one right here. So we're going to try to bridge that green palette with this here. And really, I'm going to go all but on my high points with this. And then the high points will be that antler color that I've already used on the bug itself. So all right, let's see, come down here, and we're gonna get that. Up there. And then, let's see. I think I'm gonna try to do a little bit of a darker right here too. Okay. And then we're coming back to that antler color. Let's see what I did with that. There it is. Okay. And then this is going to be our sort of highlighty shade there. There we go. And I should have grabbed lunch before I got going with this because my stomach is growling away. Hopefully nobody can hear that. I'm hungry. All right. So I think I'm going to finish off this section here and probably grab lunch so that nobody has to listen to my stomach rumbling away. All right, I think I'm happy with the way that's looking. Actually, I may, where's my teeny tiny eraser? It looks like I got a little bit of green in this section right here where I really want it to be more of a highlight. So I'm gonna try to take some of that off there and come back with the antler. There, that's a little better. And then I think right here, I need to come in with my green a little bit more. Either that or I missed that completely. I think I may have completely, because it looks like this side wasn't done either. So let's get that covered there. Yeah, there we go. That's better. All right. Let me see, where is that lighter, the green tea? I'm just gonna take that. I think I erased some of it. Put that back there. There we go. All right. So the plan is to do this technique for the rest of the antenna up here, and then the legs down here, and then the little accessory on his back there. So I will be tackling that. All right, so in the interest of time, because I noticed that my video is getting rather long, I went ahead and colored the remaining portions of my beetle. And I wanted to mention, I happened to notice when I was working on this, I grabbed an antler out of the box and realized I already had an antler out, and it seems that I got 2 of this color in my Black Widow Monarch pencil set. So I'm curious if anybody else has these, if you also got a duplicate. And I'm going to have to look through my pencil set and see which color I am missing then. So that was an interesting surprise. So I'm going to work on the embellishment portions of this now. So I think I'm going to do the gems on the beetle with a Sioux Color gel pen in Thoughtful Red. So I think I'm going to start with that first. Start here in the center. Actually, I'm going to go on this side. We'll go right to left since I'm a lefty. And that way I'm not dragging my hand through wet gel pen. So I'm going to finish these little details here, and then I will move on to cutting out the star shapes on here. And then after that, I'm trying to decide if I want that little dot to be another gem or if I want that to be green. I think I might go back and color that green. That's okay. So then I'll be cutting out the stars, and after that the picture is ready for the frame. So then the next step will be to assemble the frame and slide the picture in, and then we will light her up and see how she looks. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I've heard in the past of people saying that they have gotten duplicate pencils in their sets. This is the first time I have, so kind of caught me off guard when I grabbed one out of the box and realized that I already had it out. And I did not swatch the set before I started working with it. I probably should have, but I did do the little mini swatch before I got going, so I had an idea of what colors I was going to be working with. But that process definitely would have been faster if I had the whole set swatched already. I just haven't gotten to that yet. Alright, and this is a metallic, so I'm hoping it has a little bit of a shine. We'll see how it ends up if I need to add some white paint pen or something to make it look a little shinier. We shall see. Okay, so I like the way that looks. I think I am going to do the eyes in the gold. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this gold next, and we are going to give him some glowy gold eyes. Now we've got it going, I do believe. There we go. Must have been gummed up a little bit. Like I said, these get a lot of use from me. I do enjoy these, so it is a well-loved thing for me. Okay, and then I am going to get these all painted in gold as well. Oh, apologies again for my dog. I especially feel bad for my husband because he works nights and sleeps during the day, and when she has days like today where she's just barking at everything, it is tough for him to get a good sleep, unfortunately. If anybody has any good dog training tips on how to get your dog to stop barking at every single sound outside, I would definitely appreciate it. She is 3, so I don't know. I guess hopefully training would still stick with her. We just really don't know what to do. What to do to stop that. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to let that area dry and work on this one. So I really don't want to smear anything. Alright, since this video has gotten so long, I am going to go ahead and speed this part up once again, and yeah, then we'll get back when I'm ready to start with the cutouts. Okay, I think I'm going to finish up the rest of the gold accents off camera, just in the interest of saving a little bit of time there. And I'm going to move on to the paint accents that I wanted to do. So that is with the opal colors that I have here. That's Gansai Tambi, I think I'm saying that correctly, hopefully, puts those out. So I wasn't really going for anything dramatic with this. Although I am hoping it covers up a little bit of my messiness here with the body of the bug. I did struggle with that a bit. I had it with the gray, and then I wasn't sure if I liked that, so I tried going over the gray a little bit with the bronze color that I had been using, and then I decided I really didn't like that, so I erased it and then went back and tried to do just a more defined gray in the center. And I don't know, I'm still on the fence about that one, so I'm hoping that once I get the stars cut out and it's not so messy looking and over the lines that it will work itself out, but we'll see. And if that doesn't do the trick, then I'm hoping that maybe when I light it up, it'll still look cool anyway. uh, like I said before, trial and error. It's all figuring out what works and what doesn't, and what's gonna look good and what's not. Alright, so I'm gonna get this head up here completed. I've already done the bubbles at the bottom with the gold opal colors in my Kansai Tanbi set. And now I'm going to work on the head in the green. And this is just going to give it a little nice shimmer, I'm hoping. Yeah, see, these paints are so translucent that I'm glad I went ahead and did the colored pencil first as a base. Otherwise, I don't think you would be able to tell this is green. It's very, very subtle. I'm going to do the best I can to get around all this detail work here. There we go. Yeah, it's always kind of hard to tell if I've gotten it all too. I do believe, yeah, I missed a spot right here. Okay, get this area here. There we go. That should do it. Just a touch right here. There we go. Yeah, so it just gives him a kind of shiny look to his head, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the remaining gold done here, and then I will be back with you to cut out the stars. Okay, so the embellishments are all finished here, and I have my craft knife here, and I've already started cutting out. You can see here these two tiny stars here I've cut out. And because it's a lot of swishing and swirling around the paper in circles to get these cut out, I don't want to film all of these tiny stars because I'm worried I will make you dizzy. So I am going to do the biggest one here and go ahead and cut that out just so you can see the process a little bit. And then I will do the rest off camera, and then we will get the whole thing together. And I'm trying to cut on the inside of the black lines, just so that remains with the picture. Yeah, so see what I mean about the turning? It's kind of unavoidable with paper cutting. And the most important thing with paper cutting is you want to make sure that your craft knife is very sharp. It will get a tiny bend in it every time you use it, and obviously dull. Paper can dull blades very quickly. And really you want to pretty much get a new blade at the start of every new project with paper cutting. So that is the best way to get nice, clean, straight lines. All right, get this little tiny notch here. And then I'm going to go this direction. And it will be nice to be cutting away that smeary, smudgy area there. I think it's really going to help this look a lot better, which I did that on purpose because I knew I'd be getting rid of that area anyway. Thank goodness. Okay, and then once you have it cut, you can just pop it right out. And there we go. There's one already all cut and ready to go. I have a little bit of refining to do on some of those edges, which I'll clean up. But I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of the stars, and then we'll be building our candle holder. So here we are, all cut out and finished. And I have my protective mat still down to protect my desk. I have my glue gun all heated up, and I'm going to take each picture frame, and I've already done it with the other three, but I just want to pull out this backing here because we do not need that. So we're going to get rid of that and get rid of the people in the picture frame. All right, and then I don't want these little black tabs to be showing when I have it all lit up because that would leave a shadow in there. So I'm going to keep them straight, but in order to hold the glass into the frame, I'm going to pop this out, and I just want to put a little bit of glue in the corners just to hold that glass in place. Now the picture will be, and the other sides of the paper will be fairly easy to get in there. We can just tape that in, so that's no worry. But then I'm just going to set this right in here. There we go. And we'll let that cool and harden for a minute, and it will be ready to work with. So while that last one is hardening, I'm going to take the ones I've already done that to, and I'm going to start building my box for my candle. So this is an idea that I saw from a channel that I really love called Do It on a Dime. And a woman named Catherine has the channel, and she is full of amazing crafty ideas, a lot of Dollar Tree things, and she has a wonderful personality. I love watching her ideas. So she had this idea a little different. She didn't have a picture she was coloring or anything. It was just to hold a candle in hers. Beautiful how hers turned out. Different kind of frames and everything. I will link her video where she made that below, so you can check that out and see how hers turned out. But what you do is, to assemble this, we're just going to put a strip of glue right down the side here. There we go. And then we are going to take one of the other frames, and we're just going to line it up here right on our glue strip. Right like that. And we're going to make sure it's nice and even. And then we're just going to hold it until it hardens. And it doesn't really take long. There we go. I want to make sure it's standing up straight here. All right, and then I am going to go ahead and continue it on around. I'm going to put glue here and lay the next one, and then the final two will sandwich together, and then it will be ready to hold our picture. Okay, so here is our finished product all put together. You can see I have paper in all of the walls, and then I have my beetle in the front. And you can see a little peek at my mess I made on my desk working on this project. This was quite an undertaking, but it was very fun. I am going to add a clip at the end of it all lit up and glowing in a more atmospheric setting. But I wanted to finish here and just say thank you so much for watching if you made it to the end of this. I know it was a long one. But I hope you enjoyed the idea, and maybe it inspires you to light up some of your own work. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye!